Right behind me, I've got the 2026 Chevrolet Colorado ZR2. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Jason and I do reviews on vehicles here in Canada, so reviews just like this. If you love car reviews, be sure to like this video and also subscribe to the channel. And also thank you to Applewood Chevy for allowing me to review this ZR2. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the different models that you can get with the Colorados here, the safety features that do come with the ZR2 model, the engine specs, the exterior, the interior, the infotainment system, and of course the pricing. All right, as for the different models that you can get with the Colorados, first off, you can pick from two different drive types, and then you have all of these different models that you can pick from as well. And here are all of the safety features that do come packed with the ZR2 model. Now, as for what powers the Chevy Colorados, standard, you do get the Turbo Max engine, which produces 310 horsepower and 430 pound-foot of torque. And in terms of towing with this truck, you can tow about 6,000 pounds. All right, well, let's start off in the front of this aggressive looking ZR2. I really like this model because look at how mean this thing looks. So down here on your bumper area, you've got the black trimming, and then down below you do have the metal skid plates, as you can see, and then also the front red recovery hooks. There's also the LED fog lights in the front here. If you notice, your bumper kind of like has this cutout on both of the sides, and that's obviously if you do take this thing off-roading, which it's meant for. So all of the approach angles and all of that good stuff, that's what that's for. And then you really move into this beautiful grille area. Now you have a body color area everywhere, but then you have gloss black here, which really stands out on this white color. So you kind of have like this lower grille area, I would call it, and then like some lines here, and then even up here, but this is all closed off at the top, and then this massive gloss black bar. Your Chevy badge is open and you do have the red insert. There's also the ZR2 badging right there, and you do have a front-facing camera. As for the lights, these are actually pretty unique. I really like the LED light at the top, and then you have your typical ones, and then you have your turn signal right there. This area is empty. It would have been cool if they added some sort of functional vent, but it is closed off on both of the sides. Now, even on the hood here, you do have this trim piece in black that also says Turbo Max. So again, all of the black accents on this definitely show, especially this thing being in white. All right, now coming to the side of the ZR2 here, the nice looks definitely continue. And this thing does have the optional sunroof added to it. So right there, very nice to have on any vehicle. Around the windows, you have your typical blacked out trimming. You've got the body color door handles. Even the side mirror, you have the gloss black and the typical black plastic. And then side mirror cameras. This does have the tech package, so you're gonna notice a lot of the technology in this. And as for the cameras, there are a lot of angles, so I'm gonna show you that inside on the touchscreen. On the side of the doors here, you do have the Colorado badging, and then your protectors, so the metal ones right here. Even around the wheel arc here, you have the black plastic, and then really you get into these gorgeous wheels. I really like how these things look. Now from far away, this kind of looks like a light gold color, which looks very unique on this. And these are your 17-inch wheels paired with these 33-inch tires. And if I do take a step back, you can see these wheels and the tire setup on this definitely looks nice on this. And the ZR2 also has the high performance suspension plus a 3-inch factory lift. And then also on the bed back here, you have the ZR2 decaling. Now coming around to the rear of the Colorado, one thing that I do want to point out, if you do take a look at it from the side, this thing does look kind of wide and it actually looks good. So back here you do have your gloss bumper, and then all of your safety sensors that do run across the hitch in the center, and way down below you do have a spare tire. Up by the license plate area, you have all of your towing outlets, and then really you just get into your tailgate. So you have another Colorado badge here, and then the massive Chevrolet etched into the tailgate, and another ZR2 badge. Up by the tailgate handle, you just have a camera back here, and then your typical rear lights. And another cool thing is even the exhaust tip here, you do have in gloss black, which looks very neat. All right, let's go ahead and open up the tailgate and see what we get back here. Now, this is a soft opening, which is nice, so it's not going to just slam down on you. And back here, you do have the spray and bed liner, which is always a good thing to have on any vehicle. And this also has a measuring area built in. Plus you have this cool little designing here. So on the tailgate here, you do have a section that can pop open. And if you unlock it with these things just like that, and then I'm gonna do the other side as well. So that's gonna unlock this area here. If I can just open it up. So there you are. You have extra bit of storage hidden away in your tailgate. All right, so inside the bed, you have a massive Chevy badge back there, all of the hooks in all of the corners. And then really, you just have a 120 volt outlet. And then on the rear glass, the middle window is not power sliding, it is manual. All right, let's jump inside of this truck and see what we have in terms of the trim and the seats and all that good stuff. So right off the bat, you can see it's an all black interior, but you do have this nice gray trimming that does stand out. And at the bottom here, you do have a water bottle area, speaker here, and then the gray trimming with the nice neon stitching, which stands out a lot. And then just your typical trimming. But yeah, that's it for the doors. Let's check out the seats and see what they look like. Now you're gonna notice all of that gray trimming you saw on the doors. These seats are literally all just gray, which actually looks very cool. And then you have like the bits and pieces in black and the neon stitching. You've even got like this perforated back and bottom section. It's not actually perforated, it just looks like it. But yeah, very, very nicely detailed. And pulling down the middle section here, you do have your cup holders. And also if you want to lift up the rear seats, it's not like a traditional truck where you just lift it up. You actually have a little handle here. So once you do have it up, it does lock in place, and then you have this space underneath, which you can definitely utilize. Now I'm gonna hop back in here and show you the legroom and the headroom in this. All right, as you make your way inside, you have okay room back here in terms of legroom, and I'm sure this seat can be adjusted so I can open up a little bit more legroom. In terms of the headroom, it is pretty good back here as well. This is a a pickup truck. It is a smaller one compared to like a typical one. I'm wearing a hat, and for reference, I am 5'11", and still I have a good amount of headroom. All right, now behind the driver and the passenger seat, you do have all of these soft touch material. There's no plastic, which I love. You do have the seat pockets here for extra bit of storage. And then on the rear console area, you have cup holders, you have venting back here, USB ports, and then way down there, you do have an outlet. All right, let's check out the front and see what we have in terms of the door trim area. So it's identical to the rear, but there are bits and pieces that do stand out. So you get the same space down there, a little bit of a bigger speaker, you get more space in the middle here, and then this nice looking chrome trimming with the gloss black around it. So other than that, everything else is identical, other than of course your typical window controls, side mirror controls, and then the driver memory seat controls. All right, let's check out the front seats. Now these are identical to the rear seats. However, there is a bit of a difference if you do take a look closely. So everything else is the same, right? You do have the actual perforated sections at the back and the bottom. And if you can see this designing right here, the zigzagging, you have this here. The back seats were just plain. Also, the front seats come heated and ventilated. And over on the side here, you do have your power seat controls. Underneath, nothing too fancy, just your foot pedals. Here is your hood latch release. Over here is your trailer brake controller, and then your cluster dimmer. Even around your venting here, you have gloss black, the chrome, and then you'll notice this almost like camouflage trim, which you're gonna notice across the dashboard. And then of course, more of the gray trimming, the neon, all of that good stuff. And then your steering wheel does come manual adjustable. Okay, so when you do enter inside and when I do close the door, check out what happens on the cluster. Look at the animation here and even on the touchscreen. So look at how cool all of this looks. All right, entering inside, you do have the hard plastic on all over the dash. And then you have a speaker here, speaker in the center, and this does have the Bose sound system and another speaker over there. And then you get into this super nice looking fully digital cluster area. This is an 11-inch cluster. So there's a bunch of things that you can view on this. I really like all of the detailing that they've done with this, and to control everything, it's done through right here. So if I just press this, it's gonna go and change the whole look. So it comes to this. There's also this section here for, a lot of your off-roading stuff. And then you have kind of like this minimalistic clean look. If I click it again, you come to this page. One more time, you're back on this page. So yeah, there's a ton of different ones. And also you can see your full map view once you do set it up. So how nice is that? Now, as for the steering wheel, this does have the soft touch material. This also comes heated. You got a black Chevy badge, more of the chrome trimming here and the gloss black trimming. On the left side here, you have all of your cruise control settings and follow distance. The other side has your Bluetooth, music, phone controls, heated steering wheel control, your cluster controls, and even more right here. And behind the steering wheel, you do have your wiper controls, high beams, and indicators. Now, as for the center armrest area, more of that nice gray trimming. You have more of the neon contrast stitching here. And then opening this up, you do have this tray, which can be popped out, and then you have some space in here with an outlet. Now on the center here, there's a bunch of stuff. So you have your cup holders, and even inside you have like that nice camouflage trimming, more gloss black trimming around this, and then you get into all of this. So you have a ton of gloss black, you have your electronic parking brake, your different modes here, you have your gear shifter, and even on the side here, you have soft touch material, more of the stitching here, and then space here, but this is your wireless phone charger, and even this has that nice designing and USB ports. Then you get into all of this right below the vents. So you have a bunch of different controls here. You have your lockers, you have your auto start stop, you have your hazards, lane keep, aux, and then this right here opens all windows. And then you get into this 11.3-inch touchscreen. How nice does this look? So right below this, you have all of your heating and cooling temperature controls, including the vented seats and heated seats. So on here, you can view quite a few things, and you have 2 pages full of sections that you can definitely go around and play around with. So the first one here under vehicle status, this nice little Chevy badge is going to pop up. So on here, you have your vehicle and then all of these plus symbols. So if I click any of them, it's going to show me that particular information about the vehicle. You've also got the maintenance section here. So it has all of the important stuff. If I just head back, there's also the gauges. So you have all the important ones here as well. And then lastly is the trip information. Now heading back and exiting out of this, there's also the My Chevrolet, Google Assistant, Play Store, Android Auto, and Apple CarPlay. And here are the cameras. So like I was mentioning, this has angles all around the vehicle. So right now I'm facing the front, and you'll notice the bird's eye top view is turned off, and that's because it's turned on from right there. So there it is. And if I click this, here is the rear camera. If I click this, this is the top looking down on the rear, and then this is for the front. Here are the side cameras looking to the front and then looking to the rear. If I just click this arrow here, you also have a hitch camera. And exiting out of all of this, you also have the trailering section. So on here, you're gonna have things like add a new trailer, guest trailer, or accessories. And then heading back, you've also got the typical settings that you find on any vehicle. So you can definitely play around with all of those. Heading back again, you have the climate controls. So right here, you can control it through here or the physical controls. And then heading back again, over on the next page, you have Wi-Fi hotspot, and since this is an off-road ready vehicle, you've got the off-road pages. So here you have all of the information. You have the Baja, you have the terrain section, and then the overlanding section. And then exiting out of all of this, you have the audio section, which is going to be your AM, FM, Sirius XM, Bluetooth, USB, and news. And then heading back again, you also have maps, and this does have the Google Maps built in. And then there's the phone section. Under controls, you will notice that in order to control your exterior lights, there's no physical controls anywhere. That's because it's all done through here. So right here, you have the auto high beam, you have the fog lights even from here. If I go under see more and then under lights, here it is. You can control everything through here. Now let's exit out of all of this. And then you have your air down mode. So if you are going off-roading, this is very, very helpful. You can air down your tires. Lastly, you just have the news section. Now moving up here, you just have your handy dandy rear view mirror, and then moving further up, you have your sunroof controls here, interior lights, SOS, and OnStar. And here's the key fob for this Colorado. It's your typical Chevy key. All right, let's come around to the passenger side and let me show you the dashboard because it looks very, very cool. Now you have the gray trimming, the neon, but then this nice camo trimming and even a ZR2 badge. So very nicely done in terms of the details. And then you just have your typical glove compartment space. And here is the window sticker for this Colorado ZR2. The pricing that you see is in Canadian dollars. Well, that does it for the review on this 2026 Chevrolet Colorado ZR2. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of this?